So I am really excited today. Matt Borrelli is my guest. Matt is a retired educator and has become a poet. He said that he became a poet as a young man, young child probably. He has poetic license with how he expresses himself, and he is an amazingly intelligent, amazingly compassionate and passionate man. I am so excited to have Matt with me today. So Matt Borrelli, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So Matt, you grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and you said that Brooklyn is a large part of who you are today, even though you've been in Connecticut for 50 some years, right?
Yes, I credit the streets of New York as the greatest learning institution in the world.
I can see that.
We have diversity, we've got every kinds of different things, and in New York, we own the best and the worst of everything in the world.
Well, you have the bagels for one thing,
Yes,
which
we
are
do.
absolutely phenomenal.
That's true. It's the water.
And the water, and then just open fruit stands. I was there the other day visiting my daughter and my granddaughter, and just big sprigs of eucalyptus and just the fragrance that you get from that, and the murals on the walls on the side of the street. It's phenomenal. It's an amazing place to visit and to be from there. That really must be in the fiber of who you are.
It is. Being a New Yorker is something I'm very proud of.
Well, and you know, New Yorkers get a bad rap for kind of being a little bit rough around the edges sometimes.
Oh, sure you are.
Well, I don't know, because when I'm in New York and if I ask somebody a question, they're very helpful and they will guide me and guard me and give me what I want or what I need. So
I agree.
There's two sides to that coin,
Yeah,
if you want to flip it.
You get a hello faster in Brooklyn than in Connecticut.
Well, you know, it's funny because, and Connecticut has the reputation of being the Yankee, right? And
yes.
When I first moved here, people are like, why are you so friendly? And I was just like,
So.
that's kind of just who I am.
No, it is. I'm happy that I was born there.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad that you moved here. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have. It's a busy, you know. And I had a little bit of cognitive overload when I was in New York just this couple of weeks ago, and I was like, this place is busy and it's got so much energy. And there were protesters marching down the street and kids with balloons, and you see it all in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
So it's very stimulating. So we want to talk about your journey, though.
Okay.
And you began as a young man writing poetry, but you didn't get a degree in English.
No, I was a closet poet.
A closet poet. Tell me what that means.
It means I wrote and shared with very few people, and I have this big pile of paper that nobody's read or heard.
But now you're a published poet. We have something right here, and I'm so proud and glad that you've given this to me, and I'll have you inscribe it on the inside because I'm really looking forward, anxiously turning through the pages slowly, I know.
Yes.
My mother was a lover of poets. She taught me and my 8 siblings to recite poetry from the time we were 3 years old.
You are very lucky.
Yes, I was very, very lucky, very blessed. And she said poetry is prayer. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yes. I think the reason I chose to write about this topic poetically rather than narratively is I want to get to your heart, not just your head.
Right, and you do.
And that's what prayer does.
And that's what prayer does.
Yes.
Okay.
It's soulful.
Now, you said that there were 6 stages to what you were writing about. And you said the first stage was, why are you like that? Now, you're referring to someone that you love dearly, I know, and she has a bit of a memory loss, if I am correct.
Yes. And it's confounding, and in my case, I don't think I handled it well because I didn't understand why couldn't be fixed.
Okay.
Why couldn't you find your pocketbook, your phone? And so I wrote this. Is this okay?
Okay, yeah, I would love to. Oh, you wear glasses too. I'm glad to see I'm not the only one in the room wearing glasses.
This is basically I was saying to myself, it's hard to figure out who the victim is. And so this is, why are you like that?
Why are you like that?
Okay, why can't you find your pocketbook? I told you many times where to look. Why do you not know it's me? I'm your husband, can't you see? You're angry. I don't know why. You treat me so poorly that I cry.
Hmm.
You know things that you're not aware. You come and go. You don't seem to care. I'm hurting too. That doesn't bother you. Can't you do better? Change your ways? I'm so tired, a rat in a maze. I'm angry, hurt, and dismayed. I feel like I'm just a maid. My life has changed because of you. Isn't there something you can do?
Hmm.
What's happening? Can't you see? What you're doing is hurting me. I love you, but you don't seem to care. You often don't even know I'm there.
Hmm.
My heart is breaking, yet you don't see what you are doing to me. I'm at a loss as what to do. Sometimes I'm really mad at you. And then you go to meetings because you're really confused and you don't know what's going on here in this world of memory loss.
Are you talking about?
Support groups.
Okay. Okay.
Support groups. And all of a sudden you realize that you're assuming a control on the part of your loved one,
Mm-hmm.
and that they can change, they can do something differently.
Mm.
And then after many hours of reading and going to meetings, this is how I see it. This is the definition of what memory loss and dementia is all about,
Okay.
okay? And it's called, it starts off by saying, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh dear.
There's my Brooklyn.
You have a great sense of humor,
Okay.
Matt. You really do. So I appreciate that.
It's a different world. Forget the word forgot. The echoing questions that come in rapid successions are not a product of a gain and a loss. Nay, each is new and original and appears for the first time each and every time. The length of days cannot be measured in hours. Each minute is its own cycle. The entire world exists only for that period of time. When it is past, a new sun rises on the same scene. A one-act play portrayed by a single actor guaranteed a long run. Moods change, not as the tides with predictability. Rather, they are beget from some unknown source. The reality unique to the minute and totally random in nature. Questions raised are best ignored rather than addressed, allowing the evaporation process to work in your favor. Give it a minute, and the setting will be someplace else. Should the dilemma persist, a simple diversion will end the scene. You both now live in a one-ply world. No depth, no length, no area. There are no breezes, no gales, only puffs, gasps, and hiccups. As more and more connections disassociate, your beloved spouse becomes your daughter. The unaging process changes the definition of love. Affection and caring transcend passion. Roles change, spouse now caretaker, lover now parent. Good times now going for ice cream, playing with each other as adolescents do, rather than being with each other as adults. Facing the loss of a person that is right in front of you, but who is not there, is both incomprehensible and painful.
Mm-hmm.
The battle for change is best lost as soon as possible. Understanding you are powerless. Moving towards acceptance is the only way to survive. With only a cup, how do you dare approach the ocean? Best enjoy the moments that you tell yourself you're together as you used to be. Nothing is the same, nor will be the same. Accept it. Learn to love for its own sake. There will be no return, no exchange. It's a pure gift that is received, yet not so. All you can do is wish that somehow the feelings you sent are felt on a plane that is her own and cannot be understood by anyone else. You will wait in fear every day wondering, who will meet me today? Who will greet me? How many acts will be in today's play? Who will be playing the role? The slope is unpredictable. The destination is known. The stations to get there are plotted, but the ETA is unique and undetermined. So you wait, accept enjoying the vagrant minute, those times that seem whole and familiar, and pray that tomorrow will not be too different from today. That's the world. That is the world.
And it's a different world. It's not the world that you imagined.
No, it's not a world that until you're in the situation that you can conceive of. You know, when we look at a day, okay, many make a life. Life is made of dreams that create hope. hope which beget action, action making a day, but in this case of memoryless minutes.
Now, not to pry too deeply, but I'm just wondering, is there long-term memory?
Yes.
So she can recall things from
Here and
her
there. Yes,
childhood,
yes.
from when you first met,
Yes,
from
yes.
your early
Yes.
days as a couple, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So there's some comfort at least with that. It's the day-to-day of moving forward
Yes,
and being
yes,
involved
yes.
with
And,
that's real difficult and
right.
problematic.
And that it is a moving target.
It is a moving target but you maintain a real serene home environment.
That's the whole thing. It's
And consistency and
yes, that everything is upbeat. In other ways, we make the best of the cards we're dealt.
absolutely, and that's our job, I
Yes,
think,
yes.
as
That's how you love.
that's how you love. It's that simple. That's how you love.
And you know, it affects you in the sense that this poem is the dying muse, because I write from the heart, and she's the person that fills my heart. So her memories loss takes with us our future. My muses leaving me causes my quill to quiver. My hand no longer has her deep emotions to propel it across the page. I can now only scribe bland words and practical terms. Our rainbow's colors are draining each day, fading and morphing into gray. Love is the motivation, the driving force of poetry and life itself. With her going comes the demise of my reason for living. I am now maintained solely by our beautiful memories, which I must keep for both of us.
Absolutely.
And then,
And you're doing that, Matthew. You're doing that.
well, we're trying. We're
Yes.
trying real hard, and that's why this, because I wanted other people who are in the caregiving situation to this is their feelings too. I don't think I'm unique. I think that all of us in this way are going through these things, a loss, and here just
Well, you are unique,
well.
but your experience is probably more common than any of us would like to know, probably.
And I try to describe what I think her world is like.
Oh, sure.
So her world, seen only in glimpses, allows little light. It is lonely and painful. Her past, the struggling seeds of her future. Those glories, strengths, and love that remain will forever define her. No future events will change her. She will be what she remembers she was. A solitary quest, she alone can find her way. I can only stand in the light and call to her, hoping she'll follow my voice to safety, be her lamp in the window.
Love that.
Okay.
Be her lamp in the window. And I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are her lamp in the window.
So, and the greatest fear is you don't know what's getting across. Do they know that they're loved? Can they feel it? And I wrote this, I'm with you. I'm in such pain, though you can't see. I make things cheery, as they used to be. We bill and coo as we always do, a world not what we're used to. Colors fade, sounds muted, all loving words diluted. Feelings shared in the past, now are what we have to last. I miss you so as I watch you go. A love senseless without sound will follow you wherever you are bound. And the next poem I wrote about 30 years ago. One of my colleagues' sons was graduating from a special education school, and he was very impacted. And I wrote this for him at graduation because he was a kid who couldn't communicate, but it was so applicable here, and this is waiting to be heard. It says, there are times when you speak, yet no one hears. Your screams cause not a blink, but sometimes you can whisper and affect the whole being. It all comes down to living your life as a mute, waiting for those minutes that you were heard.
Mm.
And that's where we are, the minutes. And then one of the hope, when you know there is no hope, can be considered ridiculous, but it's not. It's still gasoline for your engine.
Absolutely.
Okay, and reliving the wonderful past keeps hope alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I still want her back, even though it's not possible.
Mm.
So it's come to me, to my world. See diamonds fall from the boughs of trees while shedding their icy cloaks in the brilliant sun. Listen carefully, hear music so sweet that it cries at its own splendor. Imagination colors the sky, dreams come true, beauty and love marry. Joyous tears flow in awe of what you're all about. Aromas awaken your senses, tell you stories and invade your dreams. I wish you would come, stray from your world, not even for always. Stay for as long as a glimpse. See, feel, touch what can be. Come to me.
Mm.
And
Well, I'm sensing that it's lonely for you too.
it is, because it's ethereal. You can't touch it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I try to send out a message of hope that love is so powerful that even with all these disconnects going on,
Mm-hmm.
that at the end, this magical thing called love will let her know
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. And this is love's everlasting hope.
Mm.
And this is her speaking. What existence can this be? Tides only flow away from me. Colors daily pale and fade. A film never really made. 12 o'clock, always the time, starting and stopping with no rhyme. Clocks with no minutes or hours to plot. Second hands ticking is all I've got. Past and present make the day. A mirror constantly moves further away. Images blurred, lost, gone astray. All are new as they appear each day. Me is someone I can't see. A stranger lives inside of me. The horizon once so far away is before me this very day. My world is flat, a sharp edge awaits. I fall into the precipice towards unknown gates. As I drift and as I fall, I hear a voice, a mournful call. I know it's you, my faithful dear. You have always been so close, so near. Songs of love come to me. I remember how it was to be.
Mm.
That's my hope.
Mm.
But, you know, life in the serious lane, it's impossible to stay there all day. And this situation creates slight quirks in behavior. And this is some of the real stuff that we have to deal with. And this is humorous. It's called What's New, Pussycat? And it can bring a smile if you let it, okay? And this is all real stuff. Each day, I awake with the eastern glow. Run downstairs to see where did the furniture go?
Oh, no.
All piled against windows and door to assure no entry evermore. Each morn I put them back, setting the stage for her nocturnal attack.
Mm.
At night in our driveway, visitors graze, a motion light quiet, not seeing what's in her gaze.
Mm.
Pocketbooks and phones, too, move on their own, not to one place, but a few. Questions come and go, ever asking, what do you know? Whatever answer is just fine. She'll be back another time. Closets full of clothes, picked with care, but only one outfit does she wear.
Mm.
All these quirks once caused dismay. Now, just how we start our day. In fact, sometimes it's hard to wait to see what's in today's fate. It's not hard to go the extra mile when you allow these things to make you smile.
Mm.
Each chore an act of love, making us hand in glove. No matter the problem or the urge, it'll be fixed. I'm a concierge.
Very nice, very nice.
And then this is a real thing. I was out in the morning looking at some of the greenery around the house, and this really happened. I came upon a bush, simple and green, blending in, almost unseen. The sun rose in the eastern sky. Its bright rays lured my eye. As the beams began to flow, the quiet bush began to glow. Each leaf now the color of gold, transforming its look to new from old. The sunlit buds soon faded away, now pale till the next sunny day. Then I thought, 'tis so like us, my dear. I only glow when you are near.
Oh, very sweet.
And one of the things that's very hard to do is take care of yourself. It's almost got to come down like a command. And you need to leave time every day to be selfish, to be with yourself.
Well, self-care is not selfish.
Be your own best friend.
That's right. That's right.
Listen, look, touch, find beauty.
Absolutely.
The solace of the soul resides in the light. And you need to look for it.
You need to look for the light in everything, in every day, in every way, right?
Then in the meetings, we were able to see people whose families were in different stages. And one of the hardest was when you can't do this anymore. And at the beginning, the question I asked was, when will I know that what her needs are that be so great that she needs it, she needs it, she needs it. And wrong question. It comes when you can't do it anymore. And this is a time for you to leave me. And this is one, it has to be one of the hardest moments in anybody's life. You the wave, me the beach, joined in harmony forever. How could we see that one could erode and not be there for the other? Forever it seemed we would be as one, a ring with no end, believing that any storm we would ride out, hands clasped tightly, acting as one. This rogue was different, our grip shaken. We became you and me. Your weight too much for me to lift, your forceful voice calling from within, ringing upon my ears of tin. What you need, what I could give, was lacking. I was failing. I never thought it would come to this. My hand unattached, unable to hold yours. My will still strong, my body so frail. To keep us safe and whole, I must care for you through others. Hold their hands now. It is they that'll take your care. I'll visit and be whomever you deem. Somehow I'll try to mend the seam. Our minds apart, hearts joined forever. And then there's the ultimate. It's the pain of losing a loved one is palpable, that they are no longer the pain of losing a loved one is palpable, that they are no longer lost to themselves, a blessing. The memories which they both lost and lived on will remain with us and keep them alive. And I wrote a poem called The Silent Songs. This year some bells will not peal. A silent song whispers in its stead, heard only in the halls of memories, tones clear and haunting with an overtone of sadness. Play as in a knell. The wind hums a dirge. The spirit that once moved the bells to sound has gone. Gone to become the sound, a sound that speaks of everlasting hope. Though the bells seem silent, letting faith and love guide you, you will ever hear this silent song. And then I was very saddened by the scenes of loved ones who could not visit.
During COVID?
Yeah, and they had to look through a window at the passing. And I said, what could give solace to these people? In a memoir I wrote, I cite that I was lucky enough that when my father was passing, I was there. I was holding his hand. And I was able to say, Daddy, say your prayers. And it was so comforting to know I was with my father and he knew he wasn't alone. And I said, what did these people do? They're looking up at a second floor window. What could they hear that could possibly make them feel okay? Mm-hmm. And this is last words. And it would, if they heard this, they could go home with a degree of comfort. So think about what they would hear is, shed a tear if you will, to show you care that I've passed. Know that I've climbed the hill. My life was not meant to last. The love we shared, the help we gave, travails that tested our charity, will not be buried in our mortal grave, live on to define our humanity. I see a light, glowing gold, a world of clouds beneath my feet. No one is here, young or old, no sign of avenue or street. No need to mourn for me. I'm home where I'm meant to be. And I believe that there is a better place. And the last one is you have to make the best out of the cards you were dealt. It's out of your hands. This thing called destiny. And I wrote this, Quo Vadis, where are we going? Destiny, the invisible path, sculptured by a force unknown, the stoker of passion, an anonymous author, placing us on a boundless train with no exit. We survive the mystery every day as a player waiting for one more deck from a blank deck.
It's so true.
Yes.
And if we could teach our young kids that we don't have control, I think.
I have a story, and I don't know if it's going to fit in 2 minutes.
Well, go ahead.
Give it a try?
Sure.
All right. This is about Priscilla. Hi, my name is Maddie, and I'm an old puppy. I want to tell you a story about my friend Priscilla. Priscilla is a puddle. When I was small, I was the last one out of my mommy, and I was sort of the runt of the litter. My brothers and sisters all got picked first and went to happy homes, but I was left at home. I lived in the backyard and looked through the fences and wondered what the world looked like outside. So one day, I scratched through the bottom of the fence and went searching for whatever was out there. I found a beautiful little nook at the edge of the forest where nice people would share their food with me, so I was never hungry. As I looked around and walked through the forest, I came upon this beautiful puddle. It was so black, deep, and beautiful. So I quietly went up to it and said, "Hi, puddle." And the puddle said, "Hi, my name is Priscilla. You are very welcome to come and drink from me. And if you're really hot on a warm day, roll around. There's plenty to go around." And so every day I'd go to Priscilla and lap her waters, snuggle, and sometimes just lay there next to her. We would talk every day, and other times I would just lie there feeling warm and comfortable. It was wonderful having such a good friend. I loved her. She was friends with the trees and all the other little forest animals who would come to drink and prance away happily each morning. She took care of all about her. She was everybody's friend and they hers. Priscilla's puddle would fill every day with the droplets from all the trees that protected her. It was a wonderful time. I was very happy. We were the best of friends. One day, there was a really bad thunderstorm. The trees that used to drip water into Priscilla's puddle were destroyed. They were split and shattered, and where Priscilla used to live under this beautiful canopy of green, it was all gone. But the worst thing that happened was a ground strike. A bolt of lightning hit Priscilla. Her beautiful puddle was now 1,000 individual droplets soaring to the sky, pausing for a second, and then dropping and shattering upon their return. Her serene puddle was now a raging torrent of individual pieces, filled with mud, and was confused. It took a while, but the parts seemed to come whole again, but something was different. Things had changed. The water was there, but I couldn't find my old Priscilla. Her puddle was something else. Her water was clogged and dirty, and had to pour my way to find